So I have been working in corporate for long, and one thing that I have seen people getting really confused about is the difference between memorandum of association and the article of association, and people use these terms very interchangeably as if there's no difference between the two. But let me tell you, there's a stark difference between memorandum of association and the article of association. I thought to come up with a video for the same. I would say in the beginning itself that this is not going to be very exhaustive list, because there's a lots and lots of difference between these two things. But with this video, you will get the crux of it. You will get a brief idea of the difference. Now let's begin this video with the understanding, very basic thing, that what exactly is the memorandum of association. So see, the memorandum of association is nothing but it is a document that contains all the conditions which is required for the registration of the company. Whereas the article of association is that document that contains all the rules and regulations which is required for the administration of the company. So that is a very basic difference that defines the two things. Now, what is written in the memorandum of association? All the powers and the objects of the companies are there in the memorandum of association. Now, the second difference, if you will ask me, which is a very basic difference, is the registration. Now, the memorandum of association is something that you have to register with the ROC, which is the registrar of the company, while you're registering the company itself. Whereas, if we talk about the article of association, this is not something that is obligatory on the part of the companies to register. This is completely voluntary. If the company wants, they can file and they can go for the article of association to be registered. If they do not want, they will not register the article of association, and that won't make any difference. Now, the third difference that I would like to talk about is the relationship. Now, what defines the memorandum of association? What are the relationships that is defined in the memorandum of association? The relationship between the company and any of the external party is defined in the memorandum of association. Whereas in the article of association, the relationship between the company and its own members, or the relationship between the members themselves, is defined. So that is the third basic difference between the two. The fourth difference is about the scope of the memorandum of association. Now see, when it comes to scope, anything which is done beyond the scope of the memorandum of association is absolutely null and void. Whereas if there is anything which is done beyond the scope of the article of association, that is not null and void, and that can be ratified by unanimous voting of all the shareholders. So basically, if there is any contradiction between the memorandum of association and the article of association, it is always the memorandum of association which is going to prevail. So these are some of the few basic differences between the two. There of course is a lot more to read and study, but I hope you got the idea of all.